Present continuous tense, affirmative, negative, and interrogative forms. By Casano Domínguez Natasha, Guzmán Guzmán Dulce Valeria, Matías Domínguez Andrea, and Rodríguez Aguilar Vania Fernanda. Welcome, students. What is the present continuous tense? The present continuous tense is used for action happening now or for an action that is unfinished. This tense is also used when the action is temporary, or the present progressive is used for describing what someone is doing at the moment. Example: the electron that the oxygen is sharing with the hydrogen. There are some spelling rules to keep in mind when using this verb tense, and we will introduce them to you below. Spelling rules. 1. With most verbs we have to add just ing ending. Example: talk, talking, eat, eating, drink, drinking, watch, watching. For example, he is watching an interesting program on the TV. 2. With the verbs that end in a consonant plus e, we drop the e and we add ing. Example: come, coming, make, making, take, taking, write, writing. For example, Joy is writing a love letter to his girlfriend. 3. With some verbs ending in a vowel plus a consonant, we have to double the consonant and add ing. Example: run, running, swim, swimming. For example, Sandy is running in a competition.
In the present continuous, there are different structures of each sentence. One of these is the affirmative form. To make affirmative sentences in the present continuous, we use the subject followed by the appropriate form of the auxiliary verb to be and the main verb in the ing form, following the rules and exceptions already explained. For example, in the statement, I am reading the information now, the subject is I, accompanied by the verb to be am, and the main verb is in its form ing, reading. Another example of the structure of the affirmative form of the present continuous is: look, Gabby is answering some question. The subject is Gabby, is the verb to be because Gabby is she, and the verb in ing form is answering. So remember, in the affirmative form of the present continuous, the structure is subject plus verb to be plus verb in ing form and complement. Now, let's do an exercise from our chemistry book. In the following sentence, you must write the affirmative form of the verb in the present continuous. You already have it? Let's check. The answer is: the electrons that the oxygen is sharing with the hydrogen. Did you get it correct? You may notice that the structure we mentioned also appears in this statement, but not as clearly as the other examples. Here, the subject is the electrons, is the verb to be. Sharing is the ing form of the verb, and the rest is the complement. Do you have it now? Very well.
Present continuous interrogative form. The question from the present continuous is used when we want to ask something that is happening at the moment, which end or are planned for the future. The structure is verb to be, more subject, more verb with ing ending, more complement and question mark. For example, the atoms rising and falling in the boxes. The interrogative form is: are the atoms rising and falling in the boxes? Some examples from the book. Electrons flying around at a very high speed. Are electrons flying around it at very high speed? Number 2. The water containing ions evaporates. Is the water containing ions evaporates? Number 3. Pen or pencil going around the nucleus? Are pen or pencil going around the nucleus? And finally, the exercise to be solved, in which, with the previously given knowledge of the interrogative form of the present continuous, the questions are completed. Finally, these are the answers.
Okay, so here we have the negative form. We basically use the negative form to deny something that is happening at the moment, to deny changes and trends, and to deny consistency in events. Here we also have the structure. It's the subject plus the verb to be, is are, plus not, plus the main verb and ing. To create these sentences in the negative form, we use the same structure, subject followed by the auxiliary verb, the verb to be, of course, but this time it's in its negative form, adding not followed by the main verb in ing form. Here are some basic examples. Here also we have the structure, subject plus verb to be plus not plus the main verb in ing form. The examples are I'm not eating, she's not teaching, and we're not driving. We can see here that the subject is a pronoun here in these examples, but the sentences are very short, so there's no problem. A little reminder is that to write the negative form, you can also use a contraction. He is not or he isn't. He isn't is the contraction. Okay, now we have a little bit of more complex examples. So the blades are not rotating at high speed. The subject now is now a noun. The blades is not a pronoun anymore, but is a subject too. Up here we have the structure for you to see, subject plus verb, to be plus not plus main verb in ing. And the hydrogen atoms are not radiating out at 90 degrees. Subject, hydrogen atoms are not radiating out. The verb to be plus not plus the main verb in ing is radiating out at 90 degrees. That is the complement of the sentence. Okay, now it's exercise time. As you can see, we have reviewed some examples and you need to do this exercise. You can pause the video for you to do the exercise. Here are the verbs that you would use. Now you can check your answers. Do you get them all correct? Thank you for your attention, and this was a negative form.